I'm just trying to paraphrase how I understand what he was saying. You see, whether his character, he has his own flaws, he has his own mistakes, but that is not what I'm here for. I'm here to worship God under this person. That is the talk of a melancholy. They will hear all manner of things about the person they are following. They will say, Obasarage, let's go. It doesn't care how you destroy the character of this person or this person. This person has made up his or her mind to follow the person. These very choleric people, they want to dominate people.
Eventually, if you are now
hitting the area.
Hitting the Obasaragia.
Yes. He's made up. His or her mind is made up. Nothing is bad is saying Obasaram, because I'm saying it, that is me, that I don't want to care about what the people are saying about the person I'm following. That's why he or she has to say Obasarage and move on with the person. Unlike, he now repeat it, say, then tomorrow I will not go to church. Do you see the different reaction between these two people? Melancholy will say, that is even the reason why I will follow him. Maybe this one or this Sanguine will say, I will broadcast this so that they won't go there. There are three reverends. They say it's a story anyway. I'm not trying to spoil any denomination. They say they came together to do confession before their bishop. One said, my problem is money. The money that they are bringing in the church, I've spent a lot of it. Then the other one say, I don't have problem with money as much. My problem is woman. All the ladies in that church, me and them, we are together. Then this my brother here said, as he cleared his voice, he said, my own problem is how to keep quiet from telling people this thing you people are saying here. Because as I'm living here, I'm going to hear it. You go kill him. We look what is it. I don't have problem with money, I don't have problem with woman. But keeping this thing, you people are saying now. The word will hear it.
Okay.
I
want to tell us a story. No, I want to ask my question, but let me tell a story first. There's this story of two men. You know how many of you has ever imagined the city of New York? They were going. These two people were going, and this man said, "There's a cricket around the corner." The other man said, how can you be hearing the sound of a cricket in a busy city like this? All kinds of vehicles are there. All kinds of vehicles are there. How can you hear the voice of cricket? And one decided to talk him over. They were still moving. The man said, I am hearing the sound of a cricket here. When the thing was so tough, and they began to search, in the midst of that noise of a city like Lagos, and they were going in a very clean area. They began to search because they want to prove. The man wants to prove that I heard the voice of a cricket, and they were opening. Look at the flower beds, very clean. The man was coming near. He began to remove the stones around the flower, and lo and behold, there was a cricket. Wow! And he said something. He said, no matter however you treat a man, the ears of a man must be tuned to what he wants to hear.
Yeah, wow.
You understand? Yes. Your ears are always tuned to what you want to hear. He knew about the cricket and said, I must see a cricket here. And no matter whatever you do to convince him, I'm talking about this melancholy. Towards this.
Their mind is made up.
No matter whatever you do, the man will close his eyes. His mind is made up to discover the goodness in this choleric, because they have, like when remember the four animals in Daniel.
Yes.
The bull. This one is the bull. He can do multiple jobs.
Yes.
Then the question I want to ask, this will make us laugh. Okay. that is where that will come in. Considering this sanguine, the way they are so inquisitive, they're so talkative, they are so. Do you now conclude that all women are sanguine?
All right.
Did you understand my question?
Yes. Let me come in.
Because women, they're on the talking side.
Okay.
They used to tell us that when they want to settle a marriage issue, there's this thing that our bishop used to quote, and I know he read it from some books. He said women are fabricated to talk about 40,000 words a day, and men are not wired like that.
Yes.
So whenever you see a woman that keeps quiet, doesn't talk, be very careful. The day you provoke her, she wants to recover all the days she did not talk.
Oh God.
And she opens her mouth. You'll be doing her, she will be keeping quiet. You'll be doing her, she will be keeping quiet. The day she opens her mouth, it's enough is enough. She is ready to open up. You call a woman to settle a case with the husband. The woman will remember. They have been in marriage for 25 years. Most of the time, the woman has already forgotten. But the woman will remember what the man told her the very night they got married.
It's possible.
25 years passed. You will remember what you told her. And Pastor, you want me to talk? You want me to talk? She will now tie her wrapper and begin to narrate from that very day. Do we now conclude that all of them are sanguine?
All right.
No.
Let me come in.
It's a simple answer. It's a simple answer. That sanguine, I can say that is the nature of the women.
Okay.
In as much as maybe they will have some other ones, but that one is like their culture.
Okay, to talk, Abby.
No woman will say, I cannot talk or I will not gossip.
Okay.
I know them very well. Of course, I was doing their business.
Okay.
I was selling cosmetics the first time.
Okay.
And after cosmetics, I entered into fashion designer, women fashion designer. So what I'm trying to say, I know how they behave, I know how they talk. So they are most of them
Mostly
are that
sanguine. Okay.
They may have other
Temperaments again.
temperament. Yes.
You are right.
Yes.
You are right. Okay. Let me come in here. What our elder just said is the truth. Most of them do well in this talking business. That's why I mentioned the other time about the woman called Oprah Winfrey. Where Oprah Winfrey gathered the people in the particular hall and continue talking till the President of America has to go there to stay there and address the world. And I told you people that she has 2.8 billion US dollar as her worth, and what she got from just talking. So a lot of women, if you want to finish their career, you tell them not to talk, then you and them will have problem. But if you allow her to express herself, there will be peace in that house. So that's why most people look at sanguine as mostly women do have it. Men also are in this category. But we are talking about when you get to know these things and allow the Spirit of God to control you. This woman that we look at is talking too much. Her talk now will begin to make sense. Her talk will begin to be directed to points that are valuable to the listeners. You now help her maximize her potential into valuable parts. Do you see a woman called Mary Magdalene? You see, she followed Christ. You see some of the men that follow Christ outside Peter. We hardly see another person that was talking. Now, when Christ died, all these men there were there. Christ was saying that in 3 days I will resurrect. All of them had it. But this woman and other women, Mary, the mother of Cleopas, Mary, this one and that, they took oil and said, we are going to the grave to first of all anoint, and another thing to check if this this man say when he was alive, is it true he has read? As soon as they went there, they saw stone being rolled up. And they received information from the angel that was there. Say, go and tell others, including Peter and Co, that he has risen. There was no phone call there. There was no NTA, BBC, CNN. There was no any other town public address system. That is where this thing became important. As they were going, they were shouting, he has risen! And they are shouting along the street. The other women drop their pot as they're going to fetch water. What is going on? Mary said, continue talking. He has risen as he's entering town. That's when they now met Peter and Co. And all those ones now have to go there to see for themselves. So, if it's not the women with their talking nature, I don't know up till now they will still be thinking of how to communicate the information. Because I told you, when we were talking about this, we were talking about how to make them worship God in fellowship.
Even the Samaritan woman.
Yes, in fellowship. So when you say that women do more of talking, I quite agree with you. The woman of the Samaria, Christ had to follow through Samaria and met her by the well of Jacob and others. Yes. And when he finished talking with Christ, it takes a woman who talks to do the interview he did with Christ. Yes. The woman came to fetch water, and that one came and begging water. I noticed that you are not our own type. Yes. And you said I should give you water. Don't you know we don't have business with your people? He confronted Christ. Christ said he reached a stage that Christ has to know water for him. He said, go home. If you really know what you're talking, I can't give you water. We don't have business. Samaritan, you Jew. This issue of even where to worship God is the woman that did all the interview. But when he said, if to say you know who you are denying this water, oh God. He said, if that is the case, then the water of living. Do you understand now? So the woman talked, and he helped bring Christ a lot of things that Christ were like hiding. And as soon as he got it, he said, she dropped the bucket that she came to fetch water with, right inside the town. Begin to jump up and down and saying the Messiah, the one that we've been talking about, is there. And that made way for Christ evangelism. Yes. Are you getting it now? So women talk, but if the Spirit of God touches them, you see that talk makes much sense. And not that the people just gather together, gossip about people. Tomorrow they will carry investigation people to check you say what you said to mama so under the tree of mango tree, and you come here talk your own. You here talk. It will remove those ones. The husband will be free from. Now, Mama Junior has been arrested though, for what she said yesterday. Now, her talk now will be glorifying God because the Spirit of God has taken over. Hey, are you getting it now? The relationship you have with your wife now will be smooth. So that's why that was the reason why we are making this teaching, so that inner threat in us will come up and you won't condemn it. Rather, you will see how to help and use it for the work of God. My own mother, I was with the Catholics. When it comes to talk, she doesn't talk much. But when she meets me and the other children, she will talk from now to tomorrow. But when they say, come and stand before the church like this and say something, my mother will start off doing a voice that was clear before. And then we say, Madam Josephine. Do you see it now? So when you say all the women talk, you see this one doesn't talk, and she has a place where she talks well, and when you see face of people, are you getting it now? So these are how it is. Now when it comes to keeping church record, like their money, rice that they will use for bazaar and the harvest, is in our house. Because these people, they keep record, they plan well, people count on them as dependable friends. I'm talking about the melancholies. But they don't really enter into people to make friends. They look at people as distractions. But when they see something good in you that attracts them, they have made a friend.
They observe first.
They take time So that is how these people are. And if they're in your church, you give them money to keep, count on them, that money will be safe.
Yes, sir.
But this one will collect somebody's salary and see another person that having issue, will use this person's salary to solve the problem. When I reach there, I will tell him. You see, these are the things you need to know in church so that you won't do you will ruin the life of people. Because you give the person the responsibility of another person. It's important we know this. That's why I say how it affects everything we do. It's a course that those who do psychology, they took time to read. That's why when they look at somebody's face, they will say, this one is this. In picking people for jobs, they'll be able to say, hey, this is where this one's supposed to work well. And if they fix them very well, you see, they will be very difficult for you to sack workers. But when they scatter them anyhow, if choleric happens to be the leader of that team, I need to tell you people how this person behaves. Even when you are dying, doing well, these people hardly appreciate the cholerics. My wife is in this church. She knows it. She knows it. I find it difficult to really appreciate. It's not that you tell the side that you are good. I find it difficult to say, yes, this thing is well done. Because a little moment I feel like if I say, hey, you did well now, you will not spoil it next time. So I find it difficult. And that is these people. You see people dying in their eyes. So then, thank you. It will be difficult. And that's why to say, I love you also is like they are weak. This is why you want me to show weakness, Abi. So we need to know this thing so that you shouldn't be condemning them. These are their
next week we
their
come on
behavior.
time so that we can conclude this thing. We have already passed. And
Yes.
we are opening your ears.
Yeah, to
open your
hear
eyes.
more.
It's now that it's entering. But we have already started it. 30 minutes later. That's when my daughter, when the wine
So, in conclusion,
next week, no
in conclusion, when you see somebody that he sympathizes with people, this is the person, the sanguine. But when you see somebody that will look at what pains people as, is it what you are crying? No, this is the person. And don't say you hate the person because he's just the person he is. And God knows why he balanced these people like that. So that everybody should not just be crying for people. And there are people who will reach where you are and give you open bamume, encouraging word to make you pick up that weakness, that crying that will let you know that it's not something that you should die for. All right?
Thank you, sir.
You have something to say as we draw the curtain?
Next time you answer this question now.
Come on, time.
I'm about to ask.
Okay.
This can a pastor, a leader in the congregation, whatever, know people by their temperament?
Wow, very important. Our pastor here, the day I started this topic, he said that it took them days, in Bible school to study this. It's important you know it as a father. Not as a father, you're also a pastor in that house. You're a priest. And so you need to know your children first before we that are the outsiders. So it's you that when we want to really know the child that comes to church, you will assist us. You know, going to school and picking courses to study in university is you that will look at that form he is feeling and say, you want to study engineering. You that doesn't stay one place. Because engineering people or doctor people, they need to stay one place. They need to analyze and calculate. And you that wherever they are playing music, you'll be there. You know the child. So not just a pastor that is meeting strange faces. Family man. You need to know the temperament of the child he or she is born with. And that is where he or she will direct that child, where that child's life will be fulfilled. The time the Bible says teach, train a child, is talking about parents. And we, the pastors also are parents now for the other parents. Okay? So the question you ask and other things, we stop today at the choleric. I've taken time to explain this temperament very well. We need to know it. We need to understand every other person's temperament, our children's temperament, our husband and wife's temperament, and not to use it to condemn them. Rather, to assist them in that area and also help them to direct their temperament to a better result. Can we put our hands together for Jesus for making us to be here this morning and hearing what we are hearing? All right. Thank you so much for giving me your listening ear.
Thank you, sir.